After a short break in proceedings, HBL PSL Season 10 burst into life with a thrilling win for Quetta Gladiators in Rawalpindi.
Let's hit that down the ground. Oh, it's over the top for 6. What a way to win that match.
After a slow start to the season, they have been the form team and enter the knockout stages as table toppers and the team to beat. Islamabad United have had an interesting journey. Unstoppable to start with.
A century of the highest order. 𝐐𝐮𝐤𝐲𝐻𝐿 Farhan.
Unconvincing afterwards. But a change in personnel saw a change in fortunes last time out.
Oh, thumped away. That is spectacular.
The winner tonight books their place in Sunday's grand final. But who will come out on top? Yeah, what an exciting night we have to look forward to here at Gaddafi Stadium. It is the qualifier of HBL PSL 10. The Quetta Gladiators, best of the business this season, up against Islamabad United, live from Gaddafi Stadium. Well, it all comes down to today for the top two sides of the tournament. Who makes it all the way through to the big dance, the final? It remains to be seen. And tell you what, very hot conditions here at Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore as we make our way back to this venue for the rest of the tournament. And how apt, because the action's going to be super hot out there on the field there today. Best of the best in action as they are in the pitch studio alongside me. Wasim Akram, the king, back, of course, from Karachi, and 𝐐𝐮𝐴, sir, thank you so much for joining us. Gents, I mean, such an exciting day today.
Absolutely, it's a massive day for both the teams. You know, qualifier, whoever wins, they'll be sitting pretty, hanging, chilling till the final. So yeah, that's what you play for as a player or as a team. So it's a big, big day for Quetta and for Islamabad.
So overjoyed to have you back with us. We've had a lot of action, of course, over the last couple of weeks. We've also brought in 𝐸𝐿 𝐸𝐿 alongside us. How good to have Cookie back in Pakistan.
Absolutely, I'm loving it. And he said he's enjoying his time here. Where's Cookie?
Oh, it's been brilliant. And what a game we've got in store. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be thrilling. And actually, it's amazing how the conditions have changed here, so different from Pindi to here. And I think that's going to have such an impact over the next 4 days.
It's one of the most difficult things about HBL PSL, all those 4 stadiums and conditions to contend with. But in the end, this is what we've ended up with our qualifiers. Quetta Gladiators and Islamabad United, our top 2, getting 2 bites of the cherry. Karachi Kings, they finished in 3rd. They had the opportunity to finish in 2nd, but Lahore Qalandars, they snaked that 4th and final playoff position there with 11 points. We say goodbye to Peshawar Wazami and the Multan Sultans ahead of the playoffs, though. And this is exactly how it's going to work, so pay close attention. Quetta Gladiators and Islamabad United contest the qualifier today. Winner takes all goes to the final, which is on May 25th. Karachi Kings, though, and Lahore, they're going to battle it out in the eliminator tomorrow night. And whoever wins that is going to play the loser of today in the qualifier loser match. So much to look forward to in the road to the final. It's going to be an exceptional few days of HBL PSL action. First and foremost, back at Gaddafi Stadium, different conditions, as you said, what are you expecting is going to happen in the match tonight?
Different conditions, in a way, different pitch altogether. And this has been the lowest scoring ground in this PSL. Average is about 154. And obviously, everything is apart. Today is a equal day for both the sides. The team that's mentally strong, doesn't matter they finish on top of the table for qualifiers or 2nd or 3rd or whatever, but today the team is mentally strong. They will qualify for the finals for the 25th.
Well, the pitch, you know, at the beginning of the tournament, it did a lot for the seamers, and power plays of, you know, almost not about losing wickets and building later on. But interesting to see if the groundsman, you know, had a bit of time now. He's had 2 weeks since his last game, or a bit longer, whether he decides he wants a higher scoring game. So I can imagine he could produce what he wants. So it'll be interesting to see if it's back to what it was. I think it really suits the Quetta. If it's not like that, I think it suits Islamabad.
Really exciting for Quetta Gladiators. This is their home ground as well, Lahore. Yeah. They've made Lahore their home. They had a lot of success once they came up here as well,
Yeah, they tried about 20 or 3 players, Quetta Gladiators, when they started the tournament. Eventually they got the combination right. And I think that they showed in the performance, especially in Lahore. And first time in this PSL, 10 years of PSL, they finished top of the ladder. of the tournament. So that's also a big deal. So confidence is there. And the great man is in the dugouts. Sir Vivian Richards. What else you want?
What else do you need? What else do you need?
I tell you what, we do need a toss though. The all-important toss. It looks like it is ready. So let's head out to Bazir Khan, who's in the middle with our two captains.
Time for qualifier number 1 at Gaddafi Stadium. I've got the two captains with me. 𝐐𝐮𝐤𝐿 Quetta Gladiators, Islamabad United, Shadab Khan, Professor Javed Malik, match referee to keep things in order. Who has the coin? Yeah, give it a flip, please.
Heads.
Head is the call. Heads is the call. It is heads. Tails. साउथ क्या करेंगे और क्यों?
पहले बैटिंग करेंगे आज।
लाहौर में बहुत अच्छा रिकॉर्ड है आपका। ये वो ग्राउंड है जहाँ पे आप ऑलमोस्ट पीएसएल में वापस आए, तो खुशी होगी ज़रूर आप।
हाँ बिल्कुल, हम जो मोमेंटम हमें लाहौर से मिला हमने उसको पूरा कैरी फॉरवर्ड किया आखिर तक। कोशिश करेंगे कि जो चीज़ हो गई उसमें जो अच्छी चीज़ें की हैं उसको आज दोबारा जो है दोहराएं।
टीम में आपके कोई चेंजेस हैं?
बिल्कुल, हम 3 चेंजेस हैं आज। हमारे ओवरसीज़ प्लेयर्स हैं, हमने आज ज्वाइन कर लिया आज, और आमिर भाई ने भी आज ज्वाइन कर लिया हमें।
तो आप बैटिंग कर रहे हैं, तो आपका ख्याल है कि शायद स्पिनर्स को हेल्प कर ले लेटर ऑन, या पिच बहुत अच्छा है?
बिल्कुल, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये पिच नीचे से ड्राई है और ये थोड़ा सा स्पिनर को मदद साबित देगा नेक्स्ट इनिंग में।
ये बताएं कि क्वेटा ग्लैडिएटर्स बहुत अरसे के बाद ऐसी पोजीशन में है कि फाइनल में पहुंचे। आप एज कैप्टन, आपको इतनी फ़ख्र है, प्लस ये मैच कितना बड़ा है?
बिल्कुल, हम देखें एक अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलते हुए आए हमारी टीम पूरा वक्त, और हम ज़्यादा फोकस इसी पे कि आज का दिन हम एक अच्छी क्रिकेट खेलें ताकि फाइनल में अपना स्पॉट पक्का करें।
चले, थैंक यू मच एंड गुड लक। शादाब चेस कर रहे हैं। नॉर्मली इस्लामाबाद यूनाइटेड को मसला नहीं होता चेस में।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। बाज़ भाई बिल्कुल, वैसे तो लग रहा है कि थोड़ा सा नीचे से ड्राई है, लेकिन ऑब्वियसली ये ऐसा पिच है और अब तो वेदर भी ऐसा बन गया कि क्योंकि मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये पिच चेंज होगा, क्योंकि जिस तरह का ग्रास है मुझे नहीं लगता कि ज़्यादा चेंज होगा।
क्वेटा के बरक्स आपका लाहौर में इतना अच्छा रिकॉर्ड नहीं है, वो रिकॉर्ड ठीक करना है आज।
हाँ, कोशिश वही है कि देखो रिकॉर्ड बनते हैं टूटने के लिए, तो होपफुली वो वाला रिकॉर्ड भी हमारे लिए अच्छा नहीं था, लेकिन होपफुली कभी ना कभी तो चेंज होना है, और होपफुली अल्लाह करे आज ही हो जाएगा।
आपकी टीम में कोई चेंज?
हमारे 2 चेंजेस है। टैम मिल्स की जगह नसीम और हैदर की जगह जिमी नीशम।
नसीम और जिमी नीशम। बैटिंग आपने लंबी की है या बॉलिंग बेहतर?
बॉलिंग देखें, क्योंकि जो हमने इससे पिछले लाहौर लेग से सीखा था, क्योंकि 4th पेसर आपको चाहिए होता है, तो मुझे लगता है वो जिमी नीशम हमें वो चीज़ प्रोवाइड करके दे सकते हैं।
चलें, थैंक यू एंड गुड लक।
थैंक यू।
So the news out here in the centre is that Quetta Gladiators have won the toss and are having a bat.
Yeah, well, 𝐐𝐮𝐤𝐿 and the Quetta Gladiators winning the toss, electing scoreboard pressure was the way to go, was.
Yes, absolutely. Good toss to win. I reckon runs on the board. People don't believe it, but that's must be their strategy skipper. And then Finn is back. Alan. Hassan Nawaz in great nick. Chandimal. And then, of course, Riley Russo's in good nick too. Fahim Ashraf getting wickets, getting runs. Amir is back in the squad. Junior, another fast bowler, Wasim Junior, then Tariq, who's really bowling well, and then of course the mystery spinner Ibrar, who's getting wickets for Quetta.
Taking the look at Islamabad United, and probably not the worst idea to not let them have first crack at this scoreboard pressure, hey Cook?
Well, absolutely. The pitch is so interesting because Islamabad up at Pindi, it suits them absolutely down to the ground. Here, where the seamers are dominating, it's not ideal for them. They don't like playing here. They've tried to change their balance aside with Jimmy Neesham coming in, a bit of a batting all-rounder, taking out Tom Mills. Yasu Shah is back, which is key for them. I don't think they'll mind bowling first. I think on that wicket, we obviously haven't seen it, but there's going to be so much uncertainty about how it will play. They get a couple of wickets in that power play. If it does nip around like it has done so far in the tournament, they could get 3 in the power play, and they're well ahead of the game.
Absolutely. They're a force to be reckoned with, Islamabad United. They roared back into form just a couple of nights ago, but the wind has really picked up here at Gaddafi Stadium. The flags are taking a belting, as is my blow dry here in the pitchside studio, I can tell you. One thing that might actually affect, gentlemen, is we're talking about the dew factor. We know it can come in thick and fast at Gaddafi, but with this kind of wind going around, Wasim, I feel like that's potentially taken that out of the equation already.
Absolutely.
Gosh, look at me.
You nailed it, Aaron. You nailed the weather, absolutely. And it's not a rain or anything. It looks like a dust storm to me, and quite heavy one, but that's whether it was really hot today. Still is quite hot, but again, like I said, runs on the board, knockout kind of game. for Quetta. So good start by Quetta.
Well, let's check about how these two sides have stacked up in the history of the HBL PSL. It's our head-to-head. Well, looking at the history of this in the HBL PSL, in 21 matches, it's very even. Stevens, Alistair, 11 goes to the Quetta Gladiators and 10 to Islamabad United.
Absolutely, but that's not really the most important one to me. It's the one below that. That Quetta have had the 2 this year on this ground. They're winning here against them. They will use that as huge confidence. The fact they know the conditions well and play well here. As I said, Islamabad would much rather playing these guys up at Pindi.
Absolutely, that was our head-to-head. Momentum certainly going the way of the Quetta Gladiators so far this season, but still so much more to look forward to here. We're building up to qualifier 1 here at the pitchside studio. I'm off to find myself a hairbrush. We'll take a short break and see you on the other side. Such a pleasure to have your company back at pitchside. The weather's holding off, which is absolutely fabulous because we have the qualifier to look forward to. Quetta Gladiators versus Islamabad United from Gaddafi Cricket Stadium. It's going to be an absolute belter of a game. And one thing I think all batters are going to be wanting to have a look at, and the poor bowlers, is just wondering what kind of a belter the ground staff have managed to cook up for the qualifier today. Time for the pitch report. We had Mike Hazeman out there in the middle alongside Martin 𝐵𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐵.
This is going to be a serious, important game. There's a few things we need to go through. We need to check out the pitch, of course, because that's most important, the workbench they're going to use for the game. But first of all, I want to give you a bit of a readout of what's happening with the weather. I mean, it's been an absolute scorcher today, 46 degrees Celsius. And believe me, that is really hot, and that's also in the shade. So that's a big twist at 46. It's nice and high. It's higher than it's been for a long time. 33 right now, so that's still very, very warm, and it's going to cool down a little bit further. But believe me, right now, it's just a steamer out here. Now, a couple of things I want to point out also. What we've had over the last 5 games in Rawalpindi batting first, the average score batting first, 233. But if we look at the average score batting first at this venue, it's only been 154 in Lahore. So that in itself is quite interesting. The other thing I want to point out is if we look at what the performances have been so far on this track, 80% of the wickets that have fallen have been to the quicker bowlers, 80%. So the seamers had a field day on the surface. So 154 only as an average, and 80% to the seamers. So that tells a story. By the way, in the last innings we had in Pindi, the spinners took 7 wickets in the last innings. So it's all about adapting and adjusting when they suddenly come here and play this ground. Right, Martin 𝐵𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐵, you've had a good look at the surface. What are your views initially?
Well, first thing that stands out to me is the grass covering. There is a lot of grass on it. There's some live grass, which is a bit patchy, but if we come down here on a length, we can see here there's some live grass here. But the other thing is, it is very hard. If you can hear that, it is a hard wicket, and I think this is going to be a very good wicket. Seamers can get a little bit out of it if they bend their backs and put it in, but also I think batters are going to get a lot out of it as well. It's going to be a good true wicket for me.
Okay, so if they can get through the initial burst, it's going to come onto the bat quite nice, and it should suit the boys who get in.
Oh, 100%, and if you can do that, guys get in and 2 guys going in a partnership, it's going to be very hard to stop on this ground.
But take a little bit of time maybe. There's not much time. Take a little bit of time to get going initially.
Get the conditions under your belt, get used to it, the pace, the bounce, what's happening, and then you'll be away.
Okay, righto. So that's it. It's going to be interesting, this game. It really is. The track looks fine, and we are looking forward to this.
So take a little bit of a look early and then build a partnership, says Martin 𝐵𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐵 and Mike Hazeman there. Looks like beautiful batting conditions though. And one man that I wanted to highlight is one that you're quite familiar with, is that youngster Hassan Nawaz, the emerging player who's really come to the fore for Quetta Gladiators just recently. You know, what can you tell us about him and your experience?
I'm so happy for Hassan Nawaz and of course his team. He's got 100 for Pakistan as well in New Zealand, against New Zealand. But I remember watching him about 3-4 years ago in Kashmir League. He played for one of my team. He got some runs, and I saw 𝐵𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐵 was coaching, and I told 𝐵𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐵 that this guy is something special. Please keep an eye on him, and I'm glad he went on to play for Pakistan. 22 years of age, 𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐵.
Absolutely. One thing you notice straight away is his back, how high his back lift is, and look at his swing of a bat. That's not a great example of using the pace, but look at that shot right at the end. And the other thing about surviving at elite level is being able to play the situation. And he has done that 3 times, getting his side over the line under pressure. That's what separates, in my opinion, good players from great players. You know, if I was a Pakistan selector, I'd be throwing a lot of responsibility his way. Give him a go, give him a run. Not one series, not 2 series. Build your side around people out, because that is very special to be able to win consistent games as a finisher, I think, certainly in white ball cricket.
Situation awareness, coaches can't teach you, you have to learn yourself. And this guy has.
Yeah.
The presence of mind, as he said, to finish the job and to get the job done, to be not out in the last couple of innings as well. I think he's scored 220 plus runs in just, you know, the last 3 matches. It's wonderful maturity from such a young man.
Well, it's been able to manage the risk was special, those 2 innings. Like, he knew at certain times he had to take the gamble, and he was good enough to do that with his talent. But other times when you had to suck it up, take up the pressure, just take the single, very impressive.
All right, let's get a quick expert prediction right before we go. It's very simple, Waz. Who makes it through to the final?
Look, obviously I'm following Karachi Kings. I want Karachi to win the finals. Now they have to win 3 games to win the finals. But in this particular game, I'll go for Quetta.
Well, if you're following my predictions, you don't want me to predict you, but I'm going to follow the great man. If it was him, says I think Quetta as well.
There you go. 2 for Quetta. That was our expert prediction. Well, that's about all we have time for here at Pitchside, gentlemen. We'll let you go and get those beautiful dews out of this wind, which is picking up a little bit, but no rain to speak of. Do not worry. Thank you so much for your time. And while you watching at home, you are in for an absolute treat. It is qualifier time here at the HBL PSL. The 2 best sides in the tournament, Islamabad United, who led from the front so early and regrouped themselves last match up against the Quetta Gladiators, who had a slightly slower start, who've been really under an absolute bouts of form. 6 on the trot for them. Can Islamabad upset them? Well, if someone's going to do it, it probably should be the defending champions. Ball one is on the other side of this. Do not go anywhere. It's qualifier time, and it all starts now.